off to the races.
How's it going, movie fans? My name is Jonathan. I am a man of movies, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the season premiere. That's right, season 2 of Off to the Races, our awards coverage where we cover all awards from predictions to the shows to the Oscars. And listen, that's exciting. That's exciting. But more exciting than that is the fact that I am here with my panelists. I love these guys. I love these guys, and I am so ready to argue with them, to agree with them, and just to see what our thoughts and predictions are for the 2023 Oscar ceremony. Shawn, are you ready for this?
I was born ready, Jonathan. I am so excited. We are starting our predictions in October this year, not December. So these are going to be early predictions, but I'm just ready to get going. I'm ready for this award season to begin.
Dan, I think you'll agree when I say, I think a week from now, our predictions are going to look so very different.
Yes, I agree.
Can you imagine by February when the Oscars come around?
I know, it's crazy. I'm so excited, though, to be back for season 2.
Yes.
So excited. I think season 1 was a big success, especially for me, because I won the Oscar pool.
Get out of here. That's not happening this year, John. No way.
Number 1, at least within this little group here, I was number 1. I may have been tied, but I was number 1. And listen, I'm ready. I'm ready to pull some hair. You know what I mean? Pull your mustache, Shawn.
I'm gonna pull your mustache, John.
Oh, let's get it. I can't wait for this, man, because it is time to get to our first category. Are we ready for this, guys? Because it is time for our predictions on original screenplay. I think before I pull up my gold derby, I want to say that in my opinion, original screenplay this year is going to include movies that I have in my best picture. I have Damien Chazelle's Babylon. 4, I have Tar. 3, I have The Banshees of Inisherin. 2, The Fabelmans, with number 1 being Everything Everywhere All at Once. I love Everything Everywhere All at Once. I want it to win Best Picture. We'll get there, but the reason it's number 1 in screenplay, bit of a spoiler, is because it's not number 1 for me in Best Picture. And it seems that when it's not number 1 for Best Picture, not all the time, but when it's not number 1 for Best Picture, it's usually number 1 for Best Screenplay. So that's why I got Everything Everywhere there. That and Fabelmans, you really can't go wrong with that. When it comes to Babylon, you guys know I love Damien Chazelle. You probably are thinking, why isn't he near number 1, Jonathan? It's because no one has seen this movie. And from the trailers, I think we can agree it looks very messy. But Chazelle's name is still on that, man. You got to remember Chazelle's name is still on that. And that's going to really push it up there in competition.
Fair enough.
Shawn, why this reaction?
I don't have Babylon here at all. Okay, so I do really like Damien Chazelle. Whiplash is incredible. And once again, John, I think the only reason it's not on here is because no one has seen it yet, whereas everyone's seen pretty much everything else besides a couple of outlier films. So I'm leaving it off for now just because that trailer did absolutely nothing for me. And I will say this about Best Original Screenplay. It is so crazy how many original films we have this year that are so great, and the adapted screenplay is like a barren wasteland over there.
I think ours are going to look very different, I think.
Yeah.
For adapted.
So original screenplay was difficult, but we are very similar, John, in that we match up completely. Except for my number 5.
Oh my god. So what's your number 5 then?
My number 5, I'm going with Triangle of Sadness. I think that we've seen the past couple of years that they throw in a foreign language feature into the screenplay race. And I'm going back and forth on Triangle of Sadness and Decision to Leave. I just saw Decision to Leave. I have a review coming out tomorrow. Spoiler alert, it's freaking amazing. So I had a hard time leaving it off here, but I think the momentum for Triangle of Sadness is there and people are raving about this screenplay. So I went with that.
Dan, let me ask you this. Between Triangle of Sadness and Decision to Leave, do you think all the hype is with Triangle of Sadness? Do you agree with Shawn here?
Yes, yeah, Triangle of Sadness, definitely. That's the one I've heard the most about. I know of Decision to Leave. But yeah, Triangle of Sadness, I'm hearing really good things about. It looks interesting.
Because I don't agree with Shawn. Oh,
Really?
it's starting. Oh, we're starting.
Oh, shoot. Give me your mustache, John.
Listen, the reason I don't 100% agree is because I think the hype is more with Decision to Leave than it is with Triangle of Sadness.
I hope it is, because I'm not gonna lie, Decision to Leave, and it comes out this Friday in theaters, so we'll see if it gains any kind of momentum. But Decision to Leave is incredible. The screenplay is top notch. I haven't seen Triangle of Sadness yet, but I've heard kind of a mixed bag from people. I'm not gonna lie with Triangle of Sadness, but I've heard that the screenplay is very smart. So
yeah, except for that ending. I think everybody's saying that the ending of Triangle of Sadness kind of. And that could hurt it.
Right. And that it's commentary is so on the nose. That's what I've heard as well. So maybe people won't vote for it and maybe it'll kind of just fizzle out. But right now, I have Triangle of Sadness.
Okay, Shawn. Okay. All right. Dan, how many options here do you interlap with us?
I have the same 5 as you, John. Just two that are in different orders. Number 5 is Babylon.
Okay.
The same reason, Damien Chazelle. Then number 4 is the Banshees of Inisherin. And then 3 is Tar. 2 is the Fablemans. And 1 is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Ooh. Well, Dan, let me ask you why is Everything Everywhere number 1 and not Fablemans?
I just with originality, Everything Everywhere All at Once is so original, like just super original. It's going to be hard for anything, I think, to beat it, to be honest, in my mind at least, especially with how good it actually is. And yeah, and I love Fablemans, obviously I love Steven Spielberg, but I just don't know if that goes over Everything Everywhere All at Once for me.
We haven't seen it yet, so that's a really good choice. Shawn, we align with our positions of Tar and Banshees, correct?
Yep.
And Dan, I want to know why Tar is higher than Banshees for you. Because the reason Banshees higher for me is because it seems that the story for Banshees is a lot more concise and told better than in Tar, where Tar seems to be a critic film, which is why I'm a little iffy on it.
Artsy fartsy film.
And we see a lot of times adapted screenplays go to the genre films. That's why I have Banshees higher. Why do you have Tar higher?
That's the one I've. First of all, at the time of making this list, at least I saw the trailer for Tar, but I hadn't seen the Banshees of Inisherin trailer. I'm not gonna lie. This is just personal. I don't think Banshees of Inisherin looks like my kind of thing.
Get out of town! What are you talking about?
I know.
Give me your mustache.
I know. I don't know. But I've been hearing good things about it, I guess. So that's why I kind of put it. I did put it lower, but Tars I've just been hearing more about, I think.
Dang. Okay.
I know. Yeah.
I'm a little surprised that you said that about Banshees, because it's like a dark comedy, and I would think that you would enjoy something like that.
I know. Maybe it's because it's Irish, right?
Okay.
No, like British humor. Like, I'm not a big fan of British humor.
Okay, I was like, please elaborate on this. What are you trying to say, Dan?
So, like that kind of humor. I don't know. Although I do like it sometimes. Like, I like it a lot. for saying that.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this out here. I think Banshees has a really good chance of winning Best Original Screenplay over Fabelmans and over Everything Everywhere All at Once. And there's a really that might be moving up soon because the Academy loves Martin McDonagh, and he has been nominated now twice for screenplay for In Bruges and Three Billboards. He's for sure going to be in here for screenplay. There's no doubt about it. So that'll be his third nomination. I think they might be like, it's our time to give it to him because I don't see it winning anywhere else in any other category. So I definitely could see them giving him the Oscar here.
The only reservations I have for that, Shawn, is that McDonagh didn't even win for Three Billboards, even in screenplay.
But he was nominated, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So he's been nominated twice for screenplay, and then he was nominated for he wasn't nominated for director for Three Billboards, right? That was he got the screenplay nomination, didn't win that, and then didn't get nominated for director. So that, I think my narrative there still works though. It's like he's kind of owed some kind of, recognition now because he's such a force in this industry, and he continually keeps showing up. Film after film has been awesome from him. So I don't know. I could see that happening, but right now the originality wins out for me for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Agree. We can agree with our number one, and I love that.
Yeah.
But are we going to agree with our number one? For Best Adapted Screenplay.
This one's so hard.
And I want to start here with Mr. Shawn. What is your 5, Shawn?
It's very rare that I have a hard time filling up 5 spaces, and I had a really hard time doing that here because I don't think there's 5 films in contention here. I think there are 2 that are going to be going head to head with each other. That's my opinion. But right now, for Best Adapted Screenplay, my number 5 is The Sun, even though is rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. So the critics aren't even liking it, so how our audience is going to like it. But just because it's Florian Zeller and The Father was so great, I see him getting in there. Number 4, I have Bones and All, just because I think, Call Me By Your Name, it's a beloved film. Luca Guadagnino is a beloved director. I see that sneaking in there. And the film seems to be very well liked all around. Number 3, I have Rian Johnson for Glass Onion. Number 2, The Whale. And number 1, Women Talking. And I literally think it's a race between Women Talking and The Whale right now. And that's it. There's nothing else in that's going to win.
Shawn, I will say that we line up 3 out of 5. Exactly.
Okay.
But I'll tell you last.
Is it the top 30?
I don't know. We'll find out because I want to know what Dan thinks.
Okay. So this one was hard for me as well. And the 4 and 5 are probably like, you guys are going to be like, what? Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
So 5, Top Gun Maverick, just because I love it so much. And I'm just hoping. I know it probably is not going to get much, but I loved it. And 4, random, She Said. I don't know why. I know little to nothing about the movie. But I just know that movies, like that could garner some success and, critical acclaim. 3 is Glass Onion. And before Shawn said it, I actually was like, oh, maybe that's going to be a hot take as well. But no, so I'm hearing great things about it. And then 2 is The Whale, and 1 is Women Talking.
Ooh.
Okay.
We're
pretty much on the same page.
Yeah.
We're a lot more
Number
similar
4 and
here.
number 5 is a crapshoot.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Dan, about you talking about Top Gun. It's not on my list, but I can't blame you for putting Top Gun on, especially because I believe that Top Gun is going to have a hell of a run this award season. I do, and that could translate to a screenplay win. It maybe doesn't make sense because movies like Top Gun don't you really get acclaimed for their screenplay, but it could just because it's getting acclaimed in general.
Yeah, that's why I almost didn't put it on here because it's like a blockbuster. You know, I didn't expect it to get that many awards, but yeah.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, especially with the choices we have going here. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I'll say what, more than Shawn, I agreed a lot more with Dan. The only difference, Dan, is my number 5. Believe it or not. Yeah.
Okay.
At number 5. I'm out there. At number 5, I have All Quiet on the Western Front. It's Germany's international film entry by Netflix. I believe that this is the film that, other than Glass Onion, it's going to be between Glass Onion and Western Front that Netflix are going to campaign the crap out of, and I think that's going to translate into some nominations here for Quiet on the Western Front, I think. 4, She Said. I don't know if that's out there, but I can see She Said actually making it to the ceremony. It's about what happened, with Harvey Weinstein, the journalist that, busted that story and created the Me Too movement. Come on now. If it's not going to be nominated for picture, I can totally see that being nominated for screenplay, especially in a category that, Shawn, you've said it a couple times already, is all over the place. We have no idea what's going to be nominated. And if it's like that in the future, in the next coming weeks, coming months, if it's still like this, then I think She Said is a lock, in my opinion. And then 3, 2, and 1, the same as you guys, Glass Onion, The Whale, and I think with the win, locking it in, Women Talking.
I'm not locking it in just yet. I don't think it's a for sure Women Talking is winning, but
what do you think? The Whale?
It's either one of those two. I just think The Whale is, people are going to see The Whale. General audiences, there's going to be a narrative for The Whale in every department, whether it be Best Supporting Actress, Best Actor, Best Director, Best Picture, all of the things. I think people are going to respond to The Whale versus, I don't know how Women Talking is going to really do in the theaters. It's going to really be up to the critics and the different departments in the Academy to really boost Women Talking, because I don't see this film catching on with general audiences at all. Do general audiences matter? I think that they do in some way to keep the momentum going. John, you look confused.
No, I'm not confused. I'm listening, and my thing is with The Whale, Shawn, and I'm sure you've heard it. The Whale seems to be a movie that the people that have seen it only really praise it for Brendan Fraser. And when it comes to it as a film, people are iffy on it. Now, like you said, once general audiences get to see it, then we'll really get the consensus of what people think of The Whale. But as we speak today, The Whale is a movie that any nominations that it gets outside of leading actor, it's riding on the coattails of Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I think.
It's very true. I think once The Whale comes out, I think we will know if Women Talking is going to win this or not. Because if people come out in droves to see The Whale, I think there's going to be a narrative that people really love this film and people love Brendan Fraser's performance, so they just group it as it's a great film, and then it has the momentum to win in other categories. But if general audiences don't go see this movie, then The Whale doesn't really have any hope in anything else besides Best Actor.
And then concerning the Glass Onion, it's Rian Johnson. He got in for Knives Out. Apparently, Glass Onion is just as good as Knives Out. I can see it getting in for a screenplay.
I hear.
If not better,
absolutely. For me, I think Glass Onion is pretty much a lock right now. For She Said, I think She Said is going to be very much like a bombshell. That's what this movie reminds me of. It kind of reminds me of Bombshell, the sequel, almost. It's a very important film, and it's very timely. I'm really excited to see it, but I just don't think it's going to be a spotlight. I think it's going to be a pretty decent film. I don't really see it getting in for screenplay. I see something else like Bones and All sneaking in there over She Said.
I could see it too. I think it's all about, let's see what people start talking within the coming months, right? With all that being said, we're going to move on to our predictions of Best Supporting Actor. And you already know, we got to start with my main man, Dan. Dan, what's your 5?
My number 5 is Ben Whishaw for Woman Talking. 4 is Brendan Gleeson for The Banshees of Inisherin. 3 is Judd Hirsch for The Fabelmans. 2 is Paul Dano for The Fabelmans. The Fableman ones are by dark horse. I know that I'm just kind of putting them in there, and then for number 1 is Kehu Kwan for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Ooh, I applaud you, my friend, for your number 1.
Yes,
I think that is a great choice. When it comes to Brendan Gleeson, why do you have him up as number 4?
I don't know.
Because Dan doesn't want to see the movie. He doesn't think it looks good. So he's putting Brendan Gleeson at number 4.
I don't know. I'm still new to this. This is only my second year, so I'm not as good as John. You'll put educated guess into it, maybe. But I just kind of. I mean, I do have some of those kind of guesses, but
okay.
I don't know. I just kind of put it there.
And I kind of see what you mean when you talk about the Fableman boys being the dark horse. It seems like it's like this year's Belfast boys.
Yeah,
Belfast
somewhat.
Boys.
My heart goes out to the Belfast boys.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, let me tell you my list because it's very similar except in the order. We can kind of talk about that. For me, my number 5 is Brendan Gleeson.
Oh.
My number 4 is Paul Dano in The Fabelmans. 3 is Ben Whishaw in Women Talking. 2 is Judd Hirsch in The Fabelmans. And 1 is Ke Huy Quan. I butchered that. Everything Everywhere All at Once. It goes without saying, right? I think he's one of the best performances, supporting or not, of the year. He needs to be nominated, and I think he needs to win Yoo Jun-yoon style. You know what I mean here?
Oh.
I think he needs to win here. Now, I'll tell you why Gleason's number 5 for me, Dan. It's because it seems that majority of the talk of Banshees is for Farrell. Yeah. And that Gleeson, he does all right in the film, but some people don't even see an awards run for him. But I think he'll get in just because of all that talk that Banshees is getting, not just for actor, but even for possibly Best Picture. I think Gleeson gets in there somehow. And Shawn, I'll pass it to you real quick. But before that, I want to say I think Hirsch over Dano because Hirsch apparently has this scene-stealing 9 minutes in that movie that everyone's talking about.
Yes, and I was going to ask you why Judd Hirsch over Paul Dano. I'm going to say this: I don't have Judd Hirsch in my 5 at all.
Ooh.
And once again haven't seen The Fabelmans yet, but I've heard that 9-minute monologue is fantastic, and we've all seen it happen before. Viola Davis's incredible monologue in Doubt. She got in for Best Supporting Actress. I can see it happening. But I feel like they're gonna go with one here, and I feel like they have to go with Paul Dano, and I feel like he is so overdue for an Oscar nomination and to be in the race. I mean, he should have been nominated for There Will Be Blood. That is just that was a sin on their part for not nominating him. So I think Paul Dano gets in. I can see Judd Hirsch getting in, but definitely not above Dano. That's shocking to me.
Wow. Well, let's hear your list.
Okay, so my number 5 is Brian Tyree Henry for Causeway, and I will tell you why. Brendan Gleeson for the Banshees of Inisherin, so number 4. For all the same reasons that you guys have been talking about. Number 3, Paul Dano. Number 2, Ben Whishaw for Women Talking. And number 1, Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere.
Shawn, can you talk about Wishaw for a second? Why he's
Yes.
so high?
It's funny because I've heard some things that some people are like lauding his performance and saying it's incredible, and some people are like, oh, he was barely in it, what are you talking about? But I just think Ben Whishaw is he's another one that's overdue for his recognition, and I just think it sounds like such a meaty role, so I'm just so intrigued by it. I see it above the Fablemans.
Ooh, wow. Shawn, off camera, we were talking about how I'm kind of anticipating Women Talking a little bit more than you are, that I feel like I may love it. And I'll be honest, I have him lower than you, but kind of hoping he becomes my number 2 later on in the race. I'm not going to lie to you there.
Yeah, I'm once again, I haven't seen the performance, so this is just coming from what we've heard, but there's something about the narrative of Ben Whishaw getting in there. I think he's for sure a lock. That's for sure. But I do want to talk about Ke Huy Quan really quickly because this is almost like he's another Brendan Fraser this year, where he hasn't been in a movie in decades. And just to see him come out of the gates with this incredibly nuanced performance, he is the heart and the soul of Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think this is his. Like, I don't think that anyone else is going to get it. That's my 2 cents.
Oh, Shawn, I'm just going to repeat myself. I'm going to repeat what you say because I agree.
Yeah.
But Dan, let me ask you something. Have you seen Causeway?
No.
What are you thinking, Shawn?
Okay. Apple TV just won Best Picture last year, okay? They have nothing this year. The Greatest Beer Run is not going to get anything. And what's the other movie? Spirited is not going to get anything. They don't have anything. Cha Cha Real Smooth, I think they were hoping for another Coda-like, Oscar run. As fantastic as that film is, there's absolutely no way in hell. The only thing I could possibly see it getting is Best Original Screenplay, but that is such a long shot. So they don't have anything. They need to push something. And I've heard Brian Tyree Henry is the standout in Causeway. And he's also a beloved, underrated actor that deserves his time in the spotlight. So I see them really pushing him and him sneaking in here.
When it comes to the Oscars, they say that relying on statistics is just going to bite you on the ass. And I think this one may bite you on the ass.
I don't. John, I fought you on Coda all last year.
You did.
We all saw how that turned out.
Yes,
so,
it won Best Picture. Yep. That's true, Shawn. That is true. I will admit that. So let's see. It seems so out there, but it could happen, and we'll be back here. We'll be back here talking about it if it does. We are headed right into our predictions for Best Supporting Actress. I'm going to go here, guys. Starting with my number 5. My number 5. I've got Stephanie Sue in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Number 4, I got Hung Chau in The Whale. Number 3, I have Carrie Condon in The Banshees of Inisherin. Number 2 and my number 1 are in the same movie, but my number 2 is Jessie Buckley. My number 1 is Claire Foy. And talking about someone that needs an Oscar, deserves an Oscar, has been robbed an Oscar a couple times maybe. Claire Foy, I think right now, is in that lead up to get her first Oscar for Women Talking over Jessie Buckley. I do. That's what I think.
Interesting.
Yes. Concerning Stephanie Sue, I love the entire cast of Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I feel bad in saying this, and I mean no offense, when I think Stephanie Sue could fall off my list within the next month or so.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
No.
I think I need to see. I think within seeing more roles, seeing more films, I think someone could take that 5th spot. I could be proven wrong. I've been proven wrong before. I just have this feeling that her role just isn't loved as much as everybody else in that movie, and I feel like it's gonna fall. Shawn, you take it. Your head's gonna explode.
My head is gonna explode, John. I see where you're coming, because this movie is so beloved and the characters are just incredible. And I mean, when you have Michelle Yeoh and Ke Huy Quan giving such incredible performances, does Stephanie Sue kind of, trail in their shadow? I don't know, but she's the villain in the movie. And I will say, when the movie first started, I was unsure of her performance. And as it progressed, that's when I fell in love with her. So I think she is, out of all 3 of them, the dark horse, but I still think she gets in.
Shawn, are you sure you're just not letting that rock scene get to your head? She's not even in that scene. That's the writing.
You're right, John. I'm letting the rock scene get to me. Damn it.
Listen, I love this film so much, Shawn, that within the next couple of months, I want to see Stephanie Sue on my list even higher. I do, but I gotta be true to what I'm thinking here. I don't think she makes it, but let's hope she does. But I hope she does.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't foresee a world where both Michelle Yeoh and Ke Huy Quan get nominated and Stephanie Sue gets completely left out of the conversation.
I get it.
I
get it. Now, Shawn, where is she on your list?
She's my number 1. No. My number 5 is Carrie Condon for Banshees. Number 4 is Hong Chow for The Whale. Number 3 is Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And number 2 is Claire Foy for Women Talking. And number 1 is Jessie Buckley for Women Talking.
Oh, it's the Women Talking girls this year. Oh my God.
It's happening again, John.
Make your case. What's your case here?
What you were saying about Claire Foy is exactly how I feel about Jessie Buckley. She was just nominated last year in did not think she was going to get nominated for The Lost Daughter. She did. So her name is in the conversation already. People are still buzzing about that performance. And then I'm thinking of Ending Things. Is that what that movie was? Where she was great in that too. So I just feel like she's constantly being brought up in the Oscar conversation. And I think because she's going to ride off the coattails of that Oscar nomination last year, and I think she's going to win it.
Oh, dude, this is a good one. I'd like to place a bet on this one, but not yet. Not yet. We haven't seen the movie. We still have not seen the movie, so.
No. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts on The Whale, but I want to hear what Dan's picks are.
Let's get it, Dan.
I have someone you guys didn't say. Number 5, Vanessa Kirby for The Sun. Really?
Oh.
Yeah, only because of her namesake, I think. I know The Sun's not getting that great, buzz. But then Carrie Condon.
Carrie Condom?
No.
Tan.
Carrie
This is
Condon.
a family show. we talk like that in our other show.
Yeah. Carrie Condon for the Banshees of Inisherin. Stephanie Sue. Stephanie Sue. Okay. Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Jessie Buckley for Women Talking.
Oh.
Claire Foy for Women Talking.
Dan, I love you, Dan. Dan, I'm with you right there. I don't think Jessie Jessie Buckley, I understand. She got nominated out of nowhere. It was shocking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Claire Foy's been trying for years now, bro.
I
Glenn
know.
Close style.
Yeah. Has she ever even been nominated, Claire Foy, for an Oscar?
That's a good question.
Did
I'm
she
not
get
100.
nominated for First Man?
No, she got snubbed, I believe, for First Man.
Okay.
Yeah, which I was like, how do you? What?
Yeah.
I liked her a lot. I think she was my favorite performance in First Man. Was Claire Foy.
Yeah, she's really good.
She's obviously won an Emmy. I think she's won 2 Emmys for The Crown.
The Crown.
Mm-hmm. I think it's time.
I will say, from what I'm hearing, Claire Foy is just incredible in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I also do. My opinion might change once I see the film, because I mean, I just, based on statistics and where we're at, I'm gonna keep it with Buckley, but that definitely might change.
I low key, because of my thoughts on Stephanie Sue, dude, I can see 3 women talking supporting roles.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it happening. I can see the buzz and people talking about it after the Oscar nominations morning. Like, there's 3 women talking in one category. And
my question is, where is Frances McDormand in the conversation?
it might be because she doesn't have as heavy of a role as you may think. It could be because of that.
It must be because she's always in the conversation.
Yeah.
So for that to not even be, I'm not hearing her name anywhere. She must have a very small role.
Let's talk Hong Chau over Sadie Sink for all of us.
Yes.
Sean, you started.
So Hong Chau, I mean, I've heard both of these performances are great. And there is a possibility Sadie Sink gets in too. Once again, knocking Stephanie Sue out or Carrie Condon. But I've just heard that Sadie Sink is so deplorable and so hard to like in The Whale that even though the performance is great, the character is just too much to handle. So I don't see her getting in here. And I think Hong Chau is another actress who she's overdue, you know? And she has a lot of movies coming out this year. She has The Menu coming out too. So she's everywhere. So I definitely see her getting in over Sadie Sink.
Yeah, apparently she also has a scene on a balcony somewhere, and that's why people are picking Chow over Sink. Guys, if we have nothing else to touch on this category, I would like to start our predictions for Best Lead Actor, baby! And I would like to know, Sean, why Brendan Fraser's your number 1. Let's start from 5.
My number 5 is Diego Calva for Babylon. My number 4 is Hugh Jackman for The Sun. My number 3 is Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin. My number 2 is Austin Butler for Elvis. And my number 1 is Brendan Fraser for The Whale.
Whoa.
Some things here. Diego Calva, completely, I don't know who he is. I've never seen him before. But from the trailer, he looks really good. And it almost looks like he's like the grounded person in the film, though. So he might get overlooked by all of the wild supporting characters in the film. And then Hugh Jackman, I know the movie's not getting a lot of buzz, but people are still talking about his performance and how this is one of his best. So I don't see him not getting in. And he's just such a beloved actor. Colin Farrell versus Austin Butler for number 2.
Yeah. That was my reaction. That's
Mine
why.
too, yeah.
This is hard. I think Austin Butler is just so transformative in that movie. And even though I'm not even as high on Elvis as you guys were, but that performance is incredible. And to see an actor who was like, where did he come from just to lead a film like that so effortlessly? I think, honestly, I think he has a chance to win, Austin Butler. I really do. If The Whale doesn't hit like it is right now and it starts slowly, people really just don't love the movie, then I see a world where Austin Butler wins. I don't really see a world where Colin Farrell wins for Banshees.
I do.
Okay.
And the only reason I see that is because he won the Best Actor over Fraser at one of the festivals.
Oh, okay. That I did not know.
Yeah, he beat Fraser in one of the festivals. Don't know if it was TIFF or if it was Telluride or Venice. I'm not 100% sure, but he did. He beat Fraser. He beat Fraser, which is
But did Elvis play at that festival?
No, I'm not sure. Here's the thing. Here's my reservations with Austin Butler being so high, Sean. It's personal. It's personal. I am just tired of like impersonations always winning Best Actor or Actress. I want original characters to win ones.
Oh my God, John, I am so right there with you on this. I absolutely, I am so with you. I'm so tired, especially in musical, like in musical biopics. I'm right there with you. But this is the one that I actually think I'm like, damn, like that really is deserving of some recognition.
Dan, how close are you with Sean? Let's hear your list.
I'm pretty close. So my number 5 is a total. I know this person's not going to win or anything, but my number 5 is Tom Cruise for Top Gun Maverick. I just love the movie so much, and he was good. I think that's his best performance. Not that much, but
it's good.
For Hugh Jackman for The Son. Same reason. We're just hearing such good things, not about the movie, but about his performance. And it's Hugh Jackman. And then 3 is Austin Butler for Elvis. 2 is Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin. And 1 is Brendan Fraser for The Whale. Yeah.
Nice. Dan, let's talk about why you have it flipped with Sean. Why is Colin Farrell higher for you?
Austin Butler portraying, like you guys were just saying, portraying a real person was a reason that I was like, okay, maybe put him a little lower then.
Would you say Tom Cruise is your placeholder, or do you really think he could be up there, Dan? Do you think he could contend?
No, he's a placeholder for now. I didn't even know. I didn't even heard of, like Sean. You didn't even hear about your guy, whoever you put as 5.
Diego Calva.
Yeah, what movie is that for?
Babylon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I just didn't know who else to put, to be honest. So yeah, I kind of.
It's not the strongest category. That's for sure.
It's not. I mean, other than the number 1 pick for everyone, I agree with you, Sean. 100%. I agree. So let's go to my list. Number 5, I've got Diego Calva for Babylon.
We're on the same page there.
Well, Sean, we're on the same page because he's my placeholder. I don't know who the heck else was going to be my number 5. I'll be honest. I have no idea who's going to be my number 5.
The performance could be great. Like, we don't know, you know.
Yeah.
So
number 4, I got Hugh Jackman in The Son. It's crazy how when the predictions first started a couple months back, he was a lot of people's number 1. But then those reviews and reactions for The Son came out. And man, did he start falling. I think he might make it, but some people think that The Son might get goose-egged.
And that is what is so sad, is that the performance is so good, but the movie, people just really don't like how melodramatic this film is. So does his great performance get snubbed? We saw Meryl Streep win Best Actress for The Iron Lady, and no one liked that movie. So I think it could happen here as well.
I mean,
not a win though.
Kind of reminds me of, it's not as bad I hear, but like Tammy Faye and Jessica Chastain. Jessica Chastain put on such a good performance, and the movie was okay. The movie was good. I liked the movie, but
that's a very fair point.
Yep. My number 3 is Austin Butler.
Okay.
My number 2 is Colin Farrell. We don't really have to get too much into that. And my number 1 is Brendan Fraser. Listen, guys. Sean, you mentioned how there's a chance that when the general public get to see The Whale, it could have a bad reception. And that's why you could see Austin Butler become your number 1. I'll be honest. I think The Whale could be the worst movie put to screen. The Room could be Titanic next to The Whale. And Sean, Brendan Fraser is on this renaissance of his career that I feel he's taking it.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it with Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club. the reconnaissance. There's the Fraser-sance is happening right now. That standing ovation, was it at Venice?
Ooh, yeah. Don't ask me. I'm not 100% sure.
I think it was either at Venice. It was at Venice, I
I
think.
think it was
Okay.
But that standing ovation going viral and him crying and just the buzz surrounding that and the narrative, it's gonna take him right to Oscar glory for sure.
Man, I really hope so. Like we mentioned with Ki Hui Kwan, that double win if it happens. Oh, I think it'll be a memorable Oscar ceremony.
It 100% would.
As long as Will Smith doesn't smack anybody.
Yeah. They're definitely not gonna let anything like that happen this year.
Yeah, 100%. So I think it's time to get started on our predictions for Best Leading Actress. Sorry, and we're gonna go with Dan here. Dan, what is your prediction?
Number 5 is Olivia Colman for Empire of Light.
Oh.
Yeah. Daniel Deadweiler for Till for number 4. Yeah. Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Michelle Williams for The Fablemans. And then Kate Blanchett for Tar.
Dan, I'm kind of jealous of your list. I think it's better than mine.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I think so, Dan. Why do you have Williams so high? Because I'll semi-spoil my picks here. Dude, Williams, I think, might not even be in this category within the end of the year, I think.
Yeah, I thought about that. I don't know.
She's going to get Michelle Williams because this always happens to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just put her in there because of The Fablemans, really. I feel like that movie's going to get, a lot of hype and a lot of award attention. And, but no, I was hearing the same thing. I just kind of put her in there kind of as a, I hope.
Danielle Deadweiler. I'm jealous you have her because I don't.
Yeah.
And I think I was teetering with my number 5 and I didn't put her in.
First of all, I just hear such good things about Danielle Deadweiler's performance. And the movie even is getting pretty good, buzz. And I'm just, it's like it's made to win an Oscar. This performance, because this film's going to be hard for me to watch even, The trailer was, reading about the story was, I don't know. I just wanted to put her in there.
Yeah, man. I think that's a good reason. Great reason. I think it's one of the reasons why I'm jealous I don't have her. Let's go into my list. Number 5, I have Viola Davis for The Woman King.
Oh.
Okay.
Number 4, I have Margot Robbie in Babylon. Number 3, I have Michelle Williams for The Fablemans. Number 2, Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once, with the win going to Kate Blanchett in Tar. The only reason I have Viola Davis here for The Woman King, I actually haven't seen The Woman King yet, is because it is a near perfect movie according to everyone that's seen it. From the acting, from the script, from the direction, from the action, the cinema score, I believe is like an A+. Everyone's loving this movie. It's like the second most loved movie of the year behind Top Gun. Do we think that's gonna translate over to the Oscars? I think possibly. Not 100% sure about picture, but I put Viola Davis in there. Because at least the performance, people are talking about it. But if not Viola Davis, I would have gone for Deadweiler, believe it or not. I think there's a lot of talk for Till. Performance is powerful, is what many people are saying. And concerning Michelle Williams, Dan, I have her at number 3 because The Fableman seems to be that top spot that no one can touch yet. And so I want to put her at 3. But I think by December, January, there's a chance that Michelle Williams ends up pulling herself from Best Leading Actress and goes back to supporting. Because she doesn't have a chance in the lead, but she could win in supporting.
Yes. Why did they decide this? Like,
Wait.
This is why she's not going to win. This is why she continues to not win. They keep trying to do weird stuff with Michelle Williams at the Oscars in different categories and stuff. This is definitely, from what I've heard, this is not a leading role. This is very much so a supporting role. So the fact that she is being thrown in here, she has zero chance to win.
100%. I don't think she has any chance to win.
Who decides? Because you said Michelle Williams might pull herself out. She can pull herself out, and she can pick what. Oh, okay.
No, I kind of just said that just for discussion's sake. But it's the studio that campaigns her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So my number 5 is Michelle Williams for this very reason. I think if they do decide to switch it up, I don't know if they can even do that now, but if they can, they should. They should move her to supporting, and I'll bump her up to number 1 or number 2. But right now, she's number 5 for me. My number 4 is Viola Davis for The Woman King. My number 3 is Daniel Deadweiler for Till. My number 2 is Cate Blanchett for Tar. And my number 1 is Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay. I'd love to see Yeoh win this.
Yes.
Me too.
I would love it,
and I'll tell
Shawn.
you why she's going to win. I'm going to tell you why.
Tell me why.
She's not just a beloved actress here, she's a beloved actress internationally. And she, for decades, since Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, she's been, in Hollywood, and she is one of those actresses that everyone wants to work with because of she's just beloved all around. And Cate Blanchett, we love you. This might be your best performance ever, even better than Blue Jasmine. But you've already won multiple times. It's time for Michelle Yeoh. It is her time. I think people will say, you know what? We've let her win. We've let Cate. We've given it to her multiple times. We're going to give it to Michelle. That's my narrative. This is my hopeful narrative.
Shawn talking.
I want it so bad. She's so good in this movie, and it's not just a powerful performance, but it's also a physical performance, and she has a bunch of comedy in there too. She's doing so many things at once. So I want her to win.
Frances McDormand has proven it doesn't matter how many times you win, you can still beat the front runner. Per se. But I will say something. I adore Michelle Yeoh's performance in Everything Everywhere so much that I am slowly convincing myself, and I want to manifest this into the universe. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean any ill will toward Blanchett here. Absolutely. That I hope she low-key gets front runner fatigue.
Yes. Give it to somebody else. I'm so I love Cate Blanchett. I think she's incredible in everything. We know that, but let someone else win something, Yeah,
absolutely. Dan, to go back to you real quick, you're smart in putting in Coleman. You're smart. Coleman is the new Meryl Streep. She gets in for anything. Is Empire of Light going to be it after the reception it's been getting?
So I knew nothing. I literally just put it in for Olivia Colman because it's Olivia Colman. I know nothing about Empire of Light.
You're smart though, and doing that.
You are absolutely.
Yeah. I wish I put Viola Davis now. I just thought for a movie like The Woman King. But you're right. It does have good reviews, but some people are mad that it's not historically accurate.
True.
So that's what and she's great in it. I think I'm the only one that saw it. Right? You didn't?
No, I've seen it.
Okay. Oh, you have? Did you like it, John?
Mm-hmm. And I really liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. I also thought I can't think of their names. The other two leading girls, the young girl and the one from I think Captain Marvel, Lashana Lynch. I think they both did a good job. Yeah. They both did a really good job as well. But yeah, no, I wish I put Viola Davis in now. I think because I would love Viola. I love Viola.
I mean, Viola. Everyone loves Viola, and
everybody loves Coleman.
It's true. It's true. But I think, I don't know. Viola, this performance, talk about a physical performance. You know, she is just ripped in this thing, and I think she went all out. And this is definitely a passion project of hers too. So to see it be so successful, and to see the outpouring of love for it critically and with audiences, I think, John, like you said, right behind, this is right behind Top Gun as like 2000, the big 2022 movie that everyone loves. So I see Viola getting in for all of those reasons.
I think if Viola and Deadweiler start to flounder a bit, Coleman is a shoo-in.
No.
I think so.
I mean,
think on,
she's a
on name
shoo-in because she's
recognition
Olivia
alone.
Colman, but that's it. No one likes this movie. I don't see it, Empire of Light getting in anywhere.
We'll see.
I don't see it.
Coda won Best Picture, Sean. Remember,
Anything can happen.
anything could happen. I got Margot Robbie in for Babylon.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Because of Babylon.
and because
don't
Margot
know.
Robbie.
Yes, but I'm not sure if Margot Robbie's going to be a lead or if she's going to be supporting, because it seems like Diego Calva is going to be the lead.
Yeah, she seems supporting. This is another Michelle Williams thing.
Yeah, and if she is a supporting, they campaign her as supporting, then she's out. I don't think she's even making it.
Agreed.
We'll see. She's kind of a placeholder for me. But what I want to see now is our predictions for Best Director.
Yay.
Oh baby, this is my turn.
Mm.
This is my turn, y'all. Guys, my prediction for Best Director. Oh man. Okay. Number 5. I believe that the Oscars as of late have always put an international director in for Best Director. And I think they're going to continue this tradition of sorts. And I believe that Edward Berger for All Quiet on the Western Front is going to get a nomination for Best Director, because I think All Quiet on the Western Front will be the front runner for the Best International Film. And because of that, I'll put Berger in as my number 5. Now, once I see it, I might change it. Once I see the decision to leave, I might change it to that. But for now, I got Berger. Number 4, Daniels, Everything Everywhere All at Once. 3, Todd Field for Tar. 2, Sarah Polley for Women Talking. And number 1, Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans. I'll be honest, I want him to win. As much as I love the Daniels direction and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Number 4? Are you out of your mind?
Dude, I know, and I'm low-key angry at myself for putting them at number 4, but there's a good possibility that they may just recognize them for their screenplay and not for their direction. I recognize them for both. If it was the Jonathan Award, if it was the Rubber Duckies, they would win. They would win. But when it comes to the Oscars, I just feel like their type of direction, I feel like the Oscars may just go for a screenplay nomination or win, per se, and not really a director win. That's why they're number 4 for me. I think this is the year of Steven Spielberg, guys. It's going to be his second, if he wins, his second or third director.
I think it's second.
Yeah.
And won once, right? For Schindler's List.
I believe.
It would be his third win. Sorry.
Third win.
He won for Saving Private Ryan as well, but then Saving Private Ryan didn't win Best Picture.
That's what I was getting mixed up in my head then. But with this being Steven Spielberg's 75th year living, people are saying this is the golden age of Spielberg, and that could be the narrative going into this 75. It's the golden celebration. It's a semi-autobiographical film about him. Give it to Spielberg. And I would not be against it if I end up loving Fabelmans as much as most people are.
I agree with you completely. I also think just because this is his autobiographical film, it's about his life, and it's about the movies, and the Academy loves movies about movies. So I think everything's going for Steven Spielberg in this race for sure. My number 5 is because of your number 5, why you picked that. My number 5 is Park Chan-wook for Decision to Leave, because I've seen it and I freaking love it, and also because this director is legendary. He directed Old Boy. He directed The Handmaiden. Like, I see it them giving this to him just because finally the international film market is opening up and people are embracing it more. Whereas when Old Boy came out, that would never have happened, but now it is. So I see them sneaking him in here, and that would be well deserved. And then my number 4 is Todd Field for Tar. 3 is Sarah Polley for Women Talking. 2 is Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And number 1 is Steven Spielberg.
Okay. You seem to kind of agree with my take on Daniels, though. Are you confident in 2 still?
Am I confident in what?
In them being 2?
Yes, absolutely. I do see what you're saying. I know there's some of those hoity-toity critics out there that are like, the editing, it's all crazy. It's too much for them. It's like a movie on Adderall. I get it, but their direction is it's so meticulously and intricately directed and edited. Like, it's insane. Like, if it doesn't win editing, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
But I do see them not winning because of your point, John.
Gotcha. Man, I if not Spielberg, I really would put money on Polley.
Yes.
I don't know.
Field.
I wouldn't put money on Field. I think Field will be nominated. I think he will be nominated. I believe it or not, I did have Damien Chazelle for Babylon. I don't think Chazelle's making it.
I don't either, unfortunately.
I think Field will be his replacement.
I think Todd Field, the narrative there is this is his first film in 16 years since Little Children. And his feature directorial debut, In the Bedroom, is still, like, it is a classic. Like, it is so beloved. He was nominated there. And Little Children is also pretty well loved. And, now 16 years later to come out with this, this epic film, if Cate Blanchett doesn't win and they want to throw Tar a bone, then I can see him winning for Tar.
Okay. I don't. I think Spielberg will still beat him.
There is a world where I think all 4 of the directors, including Polley, could win.
Yes. And again, it all depends on my thoughts on international, but I hear the greatest thing of, correct me here, Park Chan-wook. Wook. I hear the greatest things.
Decision to Leave is so good.
I hear the greatest
I cannot
things.
wait for you guys to see it.
I hear the greatest things. I do. But Netflix is a campaigning machine, my brother.
Hey, you have Netflix, and then you have Mubi. What even is Mubi? And
It's not.
Come on. It's like Mass all over again, and Bleecker Street picking up Mass and then not knowing what to do with it. It's like same thing with Decision to Leave.
So my number 5 is, I don't think this person will be saying there, but Damien Chazelle for Babylon, because he's Damien Chazelle. And number 4, Todd Field for Tar. 3, the Daniels, Everything Everywhere All at Once. 2, Sarah Polley for Women Talking. And 1, Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans.
Ooh, we all have different number 5s. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. But we're very much so, our number 1s seem to be really coinciding. Like, we're all on the same page with our number 1s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dan, explain to me, do you not think, with the way the Oscars have been lately, that a international director will not get nominated?
No, I didn't think about it until you had brought that up. No,
well, that's okay. It doesn't have to happen. It's not a rule, right?
Yeah, no, I know. I do think, like I said, even if it's not international, I do think Damien Chazelle is going to fall off now, especially after seeing the trailer for Babylon. It looks fine.
Unless the movie is amazing, we
Yes,
still don't.
yes. So I don't know. I could definitely see Decision to Leave. From what I'm hearing from Shawn, I really want to see it, and I'm hearing good things about All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah. Same.
So I don't know. I'm both of those I think could be a number 5.
You know what I'd like to talk about are all of the names that we did not bring up, because there are so many directors here that with movies coming out this year, none of us chose Martin McDonagh for The Banshees of Inisherin, even though it's getting rave reviews and its Best Picture chances are very strong. James Cameron, Avatar, that could happen. It happened
Dune,
for the first one.
Dune.
Gina Prince Blythewood for The Woman King, Sam Mendes, Empire of Light, Florian Zeller for The Sun, Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu has a movie coming out this year too, and we're not talking about him. So
concerning Iñárritu, he is re-editing that movie.
Really?
So yes, he's
I didn't know that.
He's re-editing Bardo. So after the re-edit, there's a chance people start liking it and he starts coming back up again, because he was my choice at the very, very beginning to be nominated for Best Director, for Bardo to win Best International Feature, to be nominated for Best Picture. And then when that movie got critically panned, I said, no way, I think he's out of here. But now that he's editing it, he's re-editing it, let's see, man. It could happen again with Iñárritu. Guys, this is it. We are getting into the very most important category of the night. Our predictions for Best Picture. Shawn, and you're starting us off.
I get to start off Best Picture? What?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Number 10, Decision to Leave.
Ooh.
Number 9, Avatar, The Way of Water. Number 8, The Whale. Number 7, Babylon. 6, Top Gun Maverick. 5, Tar. 4, Women Talking. 3, The Banshees of Inisherin. 2, The Fabelmans. And 1, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Shawn, I love your number 1. I do. But I really hope it doesn't get tired out. Everything Everywhere. And I really hope it doesn't. And listen, just last year, Coda did not get tired out, and it made it all the way to the end. And I hope that Everything Everywhere has that same narrative. But do you think 2 years in a row, Best Picture has the same narrative?
If Coda was able to do it, and that's a movie that a lot of people really liked, if Coda was able to do it, Everything Everywhere All at Once is 100% going to be able to do it, because this movie isn't just like well liked. This movie is, people are like, this is going to be in my top 50 films of all time kind of movie.
Yeah.
Like, this is a movie that no one will ever forget, and it will stand the test of time, and I am not overhyping it. So I don't know a world, I don't see any of these other movies doing that besides possibly The Fabelmans. But even The Fabelmans, I feel like it's going to be such a great movie, and I can't wait for it. But I don't think it's going to be top 50 films of all time worthy. Whereas Everything Everywhere All at Once is.
Dude, I agree. I agree completely. I have such a passion for this movie that I feel like I would give up my left kidney to campaign it to win. Because I think it's that important of a film.
Yes, I completely agree. And I think in a world where the Oscar voters there was a lot less and they were a lot older and not as diverse, I feel like there could be a world where The Fabelmans just 100% would win because of the group that was voting on it. But now they've diversified it, and it's a much bigger group of people that are voting of all ages, I see Everything Everywhere All at Once taking it.
Gotcha. Well, I think for the sake of not repeating, we'll end your turn there, Shawn, because we could
Okay.
probably get to talk about some other of your choices soon.
Yes.
But let's see if Dan shares that same sentiment.
So my number 10 is, this is a wild card, I know, and I'm hoping it's more Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I think it looks so good. In the first one, the first one being nominated is the reason I don't think it's going to be nominated, actually. Because I just feel like superhero movies don't get that love, and it's going to be rare if they get it two in one franchise, in one.
And with Marvel fatigue setting in for everybody.
Yes.
Oh my.
But
that's true.
To me, this one looks like I'd rather this one be nominated than the first one. And I love the first one. But anyway, so number 10, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Number 9, Avatar: The Way of Water. 8 is Top Gun: Maverick.
Yeah.
So 7, this is going to change. I had no idea this was getting bad reviews. Empire of Light. I just put it in there because it was one of the suggestions on Golden Derby.
Gotcha.
6 is Tar. 5 is The Whale. 4, The Banshees of Inisherin. 3, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Ooh.
2, Woman Talking. And 1, The Fablemans.
Okay.
Did you leave out Babylon completely?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow.
But Babylon will probably be instead of Empire of Light, I guess.
Hey, but let's remember, guys, this is the dude that for number 1 he put Don't Look Up. So Dan makes crazy suggestions here.
Yes.
One day he'll get it right, and this could be it. This could be it.
Yeah.
Dan, I love that you put Black Panther.
Me too.
I love your reasoning behind it. I think the recent passing of Chadwick Boseman could boost it up.
Yeah.
It almost boosted him up to a Oscar win. I think a film that pays homage to that character that changed many people's lives and changed the franchise of the MCU completely, being nominated. Yeah, dude, I can't say I see it, but I could be wrong, and I would be okay being wrong.
Yeah, also, not saying that he deserved it, but, well, I do think Chadwick Boseman could have been up against Anthony Hopkins the one year at the Oscars. And, like, maybe the Oscars were like, oh, well, we didn't vote for him that year. Let's vote for the film that is.
But we'll vote for his legacy.
Yeah.
Ooh, Dan, that's a great narrative, Dan. You should run with that.
It is a really good narrative. I also think, and this is me just speculating, but the Oscars have been struggling with viewership. What is a better way to get people to watch the Oscars if the general audiences have seen the movies that are being nominated? So I think that's why Top Gun for sure gets in. That's why if Avatar: The Way of Water is anywhere near as good as the first one, it gets in. And why Black Panther: Wakanda Forever could also get in. Then people are like, oh, I actually have seen a lot of those movies. I'll watch the Oscars this year.
Yes.
Dude, I think that is so important to do. No more of this top 5 movie moments that literally bit them right in the ass last year.
Yes.
Obviously, the best popular movie idea was scrapped. You got 10 options here. Okay? I'm sorry. As much as I love my dramas, as much as I love my Oscar baity films, my top 10 isn't even full of that.
Yes, exactly.
My top 10 is a mix. Oscars, that's life. That's the real world. Yes, I understand there's real artistic views that you can share. And that's why you have your Fablemans, your Women Talking.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
But you gotta believe that there are big budget movies out there that hit us the exact same way. And while I don't have Black Panther on my list, then I want to put it just for that alone because it could be powerful. It could be culturally as important as the first one or more. I want to put movies like Avatar up there just because it's going to make a lot of money, and just because it's going to have a lot of action doesn't mean that the writing isn't going to be on par with something like Tar. The direction isn't going to be on par with something like The Fablemans. We need to start seeing that. And with 10 options, we need to really start seeing it.
Yeah. I mean, that's such a good point, John. I mean, movies like Avatar: The Way of Water, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, you know, with budgets behind them, they have just as much artistic merit as some of these other films, and they shouldn't be denied anymore by the Academy.
Yeah.
Yes, and on a smaller scope, I agree about horror too. Just because it's a horror movie doesn't mean that it's not a less than movie, you know?
I'm sure there's a lot of people who would love to see Barbarian get something, you know, or I would love to see Terrifier 2 get in for best practical, you know, makeup, you know, like things like that. Like they need to start opening up their minds a little bit to get people tuned back into the conversation.
100%, Sean. Oscars, you don't have to do these stupid top 5 movie moments. You don't have to make a stupid category like most popular film. You just have to recognize the film year.
Yep, exactly.
Just recognize it. At number 10, I have Avatar: The Way of Water. At number 9, I'm on this international film train and no one can stop me. I have All Quiet on the Western Front. Number 8, The Whale. Number 7, Top Gun: Maverick. Number 6, Tar. 5, Babylon. 4, The Banshees of Inisherin. 3, Women Talking. 2, Everything Everywhere All at Once, with number 1 going to The Fablemans.
Wait, what?
No. Yeah.
No.
Yes, I have number 1 going to The Fablemans. I think as of right now, as of October, I see The Fablemans being that strong-headed front runner that no one can stop just yet. Dan's with me.
Yeah, I put Fablemans as number 1 too.
Dan is so excited for Fablemans.
I thought John was gonna. I knew you were gonna do Fablemans, Dan. I thought John was gonna be with me on number 1.
I may be in November, December. Who knows?
I'm just out here on my little Everything Everywhere All at Once island, aren't I?
You're not. We're on the shore. Like we're on the shore. We're like, should we leave? Should we stay? Let's just get on the boat. And we'll see where the wave takes us.
I think it's funny that you guys love Top Gun Maverick, and I'm like, it was really good, but I have it the highest.
You do.
Yeah.
There's always that movie once a year that takes the world by storm, and the Oscars recognize it. And more than Black Panther, more than Avatar, I think it's Top Gun.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. And dude, the technical categories, it's going to sweep with Avatar.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I have Avatar the lowest than the both of you.
Yeah.
And the reason I have it so low is just this narrative of the Academy nominating 2 blockbuster sequels. And in Dan's case, 3 blockbuster sequels. Will the Academy do it? Will the Academy do it? I want them to. Listen, I just saw Avatar for the first time a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I loved it. Guys, listen. I loved Avatar so much. If I could get my wife on camera right now, she could be like, can you get him to shut up about Avatar? I'm living in 2009 right now, guys. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I have 13 years to get over I got 13 years to get over this. Is Dune the only big blockbuster franchise that you think will get Academy recognition? No, I don't think so. I think Avatar could be up there. And it's 15 sequels.
I don't know about all those, but as long as Avatar: The Way of Water kind of blows our minds in any way, shape, or form like the original did, I think it gets in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see it not blowing our minds since he waited 13 freaking years to release this thing. Like, I'm sure he's waited and he's like, okay, it's gonna blow their minds again. So I feel like it's gonna be great, and I see
The
it
little
getting
scene John and I saw was so good. It was so good on its own. Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that's the reason I have the 3 blockbusters or the sequels at the bottom of my list because of that.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
The Whale we
Yes.
all have is mid to low.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's where it stays.
Yeah.
I agree. And that's why we don't have Darren Aronofsky in director. It's because the movie is Brendan Fraser, the movie.
Yeah.
Like that's, I don't think it's gonna win anything really else, but I do think it gets in for Best Picture because of the Brendan Fraser one.
When it comes to Tar, we also have it from mid to low. I think the issue with Tar could be that it is such a snobby critics film that it doesn't get much love us outside of that.
I do think that it does look like a very snobby critics film. It looks like one that I'm gonna love, but I see Tar getting in no matter what. And The Whale, I see a world where The Whale doesn't get in. Before we finish this off, what do you think are 100% the locks here?
Ooh, good question here, Sean. All right, let me go through my list, and I'll even look at your guys to see if I agree. Fablemans, lock.
Yes.
Everything, everywhere, all at once, lock.
Mm-hmm.
Women
talking, lock. The Banshees of Inisherin, lock.
Yep.
I think that's it for me.
Tar, I think.
You wouldn't say Tar is a lock?
Not yet. I'm trying to lock it, but like I just can't like get it in yet. Like something's wrong with the lock. I'm there with Tar.
I agree with all 4 of your picks. I would add Tar and Top Gun Maverick. I think those 6 are locks, locked and loaded, ready, packaged up to go to the Oscars. Everything else, I don't think is a lock.
Yeah, I get that. What about you, Dan?
Yes, no, I pretty much agree with all of your choices, and I would also add. Well, I definitely add Tar. Top Gun Maverick, I think is definitely a lock.
Yeah, I just don't see a world where if they leave out Top Gun Maverick, then they're leaving out Black Panther. They might leave out Avatar, and then it's there's no movies that general audiences love, and then no one's gonna watch their show. So that would be a shame.
I feel wrong and dirty for not putting Top Gun, but I'm not convinced yet.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm just not convinced. The stupid Academy.
The fact that people are still going to the frickin' movie theater to watch Top Gun Maverick is a testament by itself.
So, guys, those are our predictions for the 2023 Oscars. But before we leave, we'd like to leave you with some announcements. Sean, take it away.
Yes. So coming up this season on Off to the Races, we will be back every month with a new prediction video where we update you guys on where we are at in all of the nominations. And we'll start adding some like Best International Feature and Best Animated Feature and all the technical categories as well as we get closer to the Oscars. And of course, we'll be reacting and to all of the award shows like the SAG Awards and the Golden Globes, and talking about nominations when they are released. So make sure to tune in with us on the Cinema Squad channel. Every couple of weeks, we'll be uploading new videos of Off to the Races.
Absolutely. And talking about award shows and award ceremonies, Dan, we got a little award ceremony coming up that may be celebrating its 2nd annual show.
Yes. So coming up January, February-ish will be the 2nd annual Rubber Ducky Awards on the Cinema Squad channel. It's where we, come up with our own nominations, our own, and the fans vote, you guys vote, the audience votes as well, and we announce the winners that night. And it's such a fun time. I love it. It's such a good time. I'm so excited for it already.
Dude,
yes.
I'm so excited for it as well.
Literally every year, that's what I'm going to be waiting on, like all year long. It's just the next Rubber Duckies.
Yes, like John said, it's our Super Bowl last year.
It's literally our Super Bowl. I watch my movies not even for the Oscars, but for the rubber duckies.
Yes.
Guys, so great to be here. Cannot wait to see you guys next month, see how our predictions have changed. And guys, till next time, movie fans.
This is looking to be a tight one, folks.